Hello guys, I'm Mihawk, I'm the captain for Galorys, and I'm answering the 20 questions from Sweatsand today. A recent player I would like to join Galorys, I think it's probably Temple, is the player we picked in. I think he's a rookie since last year and he's been performing really well as a main SMG. And we actually really wanted a main SMG other than me and Foke, so I think having a main SMG that has an aggressive playstyle like mine, it's very important to the team, so I think he brings a lot to the table. And I'm really excited to play with him in this year. Right. One thing I would change about Call Mobile is probably having a different ranked session, more competitive, like having competitive rules and everything. It's the same thing about having league play in COD, in console. So having like a more competitive state is really important for the game, because I think something that attracts a lot to people is playing something very competitive, and I think that would bring a lot of players to shine in the future and everything. So I think I would change that in Call Mobile. Remove one map from competitive. To be honest, the maps that are in right now, I really like all of them because they changed it. But if I was going to pick from last year's competitive map pool, probably Apocalypse. I like that map, but I don't know, like I think it could be changed, so it was changed. So I think that map was already changed. So anyways, so Mount Rushmore of Call Mobile, I'm not really sure, but I think I'm going to go with the best players from each year, and they were champs, the champs of champs. So, how do you say that? All right, so the Mount Rushmore of Call Mobile, I think I would pick the best players of each world champs. So like 2022, I would pick Tectonic because he was the best on Tribe. 2023 probably Zai because he played really well. Actually, Nian did really well, but I'll pick Zai. 2024, of course, PJ as well, and 2025 Olin because he was world champs recently. So yeah, I think the Indian dish I really want to try is the butter curry chicken. I think I've heard a lot good, and I've eaten already. So like I've eaten not originally, so even that is really good. So I think here in India it will be even better. So yeah. Favorite web series, I don't really have a specific one, but I could mention some. I really like Breaking Bad, for example, and if I would say animes that I really like watching, I think it would be like Attack of Titan. I think it's not that original, but like Soul Leveling, Attack of Titans. I've been recently watching Jujutsu Kaisen as well. I think are really good animes, but yeah. I mean, Ronaldo, Messi, or Neymar. I think Messi is better, but I really like the mentality and competitive state of Ronaldo. So I don't really know how to pick them. But Neymar, I think, for example, he's very talented as well. But I think in the competitive thingness I'm going with is Ronaldo. Xiaolin, PJ, or Tectonic. I think the hardest player to play here is probably Zai, so I would pick him out because I think it would make the games more easier against Wolves. But yeah, I think that would be the player. Which team? Bro, I have no idea, to be honest. I don't really care about the other team, so I think none of them. Advice I would like to give my younger self would be probably just having fun in the games. I think I'm a person who thinks a lot about the games and all that stuff, so I think there's one thing that you should always do, which is having fun in the game. So yeah, I think the main thing I will focus is that. My go-to ritual before a game. I have a ritual I always do before the matches. It's of course I warm up like 1 hour before. I like to do a warm up. Then wait, let me think a little bit for game. So I think my go-to ritual before the game is. I think a lot of players know I've been running around getting bananas to eat like crazy. So like I eat a lot of bananas before the games because I think it boosts me. Of course I like to warm up like 20 to 30 minutes before the game. So I do the warm up, and before the games I also pray to God because I think He's my base and everything. So yeah, I think that would be my go-to ritual. I think the music that boosts my confidence, I don't really have one in specific. I have a lot of playlists, but I really like to listen to Brazilian songs. I think a lot of people will know that because I put them a lot in my stories on Instagram. But other than that, I really like to hear worship, God worship songs. I think really boost me because I think my base and confidence it's on them. So I think those songs really boost me before the match. How I bounce back from a bad day in scrims. I think each day is each day. Like you could wake up bad in a day, you could wake up more stressed in a day. So I take each day. I think your main focus is to get 1% better every day. so you need to do the best you can in the day. So I think like every day is a process for your evolution, so I try to do that every day. So I don't think my bounce back is like that. I have a mentality separate by each day and in a very long process. So I think, yeah, I don't. So reaching playoffs in WC, I was already top 2 mobile masters and top 5 and top 3, 4 and other champs. But I think the feeling is the work we've been doing the whole year was going to pay off. I actually think on those years we could done even better, but I think, like I said, everything is a process. So I think, yeah, it feels really good to be in among the best. So yeah, I think just that it's like paying off. A player I would really look up to, I think until today, is Fallen from Fury and CS. I think back in the days I always watched Counter Strike, and I really liked his play style, his leadership, his everything. So that's a player I really look up to, and I really want to follow his path. To be honest, I don't think there's any player late to practice the scrims, so that's a good thing about our team. But yeah. I think the most hot-headed guy in the team, probably me or Temple, because we usually tilt a lot faster than the other boys. I think the other boys are really calm. I would say between me and Temple, like even when we play ranked, we get really tilted sometimes. But yeah, I think between me and if I had a chance to join any team right now, to be honest, I think everything has to be however it is to be. So I think the team I have to be in right now is Galorys. So I don't really have another team in my mind. My favorite gun meta, I think, actually the meta right now is pretty diverse. So I really like diverse metas where it's not only about 2-3 guns, but I think if I would to choose, probably the Mac 10 because I really played well with it. I think that all the SMG's meta is the metas I really like to play, but I think like Mac 10 and Mac Sign and even the VMP recently, I really played well with all of those guns in my prime, so I think, yeah, those will be the guns I would choose. How do I feel about competing CDM? I mean, it's a really big opportunity. I've been dreaming of playing CDM since I started to play the game because it was a bigger leagues, it was a more prize pool, and I think that's the tournaments you play that you could actually make a living out of it. So I think, I mean, really feels really good. I think it's an opportunity which I'm going to be really doing the most of it and grinding a lot. So I think it's going to be the time I grind the most. So yeah, I'm feeling really grateful about it.